Hey, well, I guess that would classify more as a hiatus than a break. It's been way too long. I haven't been down on the bench at all. Like, not since before Christmas. I came down here one night, sat down. I think I even filled the compressor full of air and just kind of looked at stuff and just went, ugh. Just one of those funks. I don't know. It happens to you, I'm sure. But I'm back, and I'm certainly not giving up on this build. Well, the one thing I did do over Christmas, I took all the resin from Dark World Creations and gave that a really good wash. So that's all ready for primer. I still have some components that I really should be scratch building, and I'm kind of jumping back between building and painting and building and painting and procrastinating, and you know what it is. So tonight though, I am going to paint. I just feel like firing up the airbrush. So I've got the chassis for the most part in a Vallejo. It's not that rust red, but it's one of their red primers. And I was going to use black, but I don't have any really, and this gives me a good base. So we're going to start with some salt chipping on this. Okay, so I've got some warm water, put a couple drops of dish detergent in there just to break the surface tension up. It's kind of soapy actually. And I've got some, this is the sea salt, so it's like the big chunky sea salt. And I've crushed it a bit so I have a few variations in the size. And then this is just normal table salt. So with this water, I'm just gonna, I don't have a spritzer, so I'm just gonna paint it over the surfaces. Okay, now I'm just gonna take some salt and I just kind of roll it in my fingers and crush it a bit. Now keep in mind, wherever the salt is, the paint will not show. So now I got some AK Interactive Shadow Rust, and actually I got their whole line of rusty stuff here, so we're going to put that to good use. Don't need a whole lot of this, and I'm just going to dust on some coats here. Alright, so I'm just working over a big garbage pail here and just rubbing the salt off. No water at this point. I'm just scraping it off, seeing what I got. Alright, so usually when I get to this phase, I'm going to do another layer of salt chipping and then black for like the chassis and chip that. But why not try to really bring this rust off the charts? So I'm going to do a layer of enamel washes and some pigments too. Okay, so I got this stuff, and I've also got some light and medium rust pigments. I got some European Earth, burnt umber, and natural umber. So let's find a brush that we can abuse. That's a pretty good one. And I'm just going to start with rust streaks, I guess. And we'll do some burnt umber. So I'm going to just try to get something going on in here. So I'm just working through this bit by bit. I'm not going to videotape the whole thing because I'm going to take my sweet old time and just enjoy the process here. But you can see the rails here, the frame rails in the back. I'm painting those with a brush with that's track wash. track wash. Okay, now the only reason I stopped to record this is because it just dawned on me, like, you know, this is enamel paint. The AK Interactive weathering stuff, it's enamel paint. So why not just use it like paint? Like, I'm thinking that this part of the car, it's a frame, so I don't know, makes sense that it's a little different color. It weathered just differently, and I'll go back once this is dry and kind of clean it up so it's not just brown. But you know, don't be afraid to use these products for, well, for things that they weren't necessarily intended for. You know, this is a wash, but hey, right now it's just paint. So there's where I'm at so far. Got kind of a rusty patina kind of look. The bottom of that interior tub was painted earlier, so I tried to kind of bring it back to a similar look as the rest of the car, but it's not quite the same. But after we chip some black paint over that, that'll all kind of disappear. This has also been given a clear coat of flat varnish, acrylic varnish, and it's time to keep going. Alright, so another night down in the cave. I have been working on this a bit. Let's have a look. Alright, I got a second layer of salt on there. I've just tacked on the interior tub to the bottom of that chassis just to hold it in place while I do this layer. And now I'm just going to let that dry. I've also got some salt on these three rims, and this guy here with a hole in it, lots of holes in it, I put hairspray on that. Okay, after we scratch off all the salt, here's where we're at. It looks alright. You know, after doing all that, I spent like all last night kind of building up that rusty layer. It's pretty much annihilated after you do this layer with the black, so you know, whether or not that's worth doing is debatable. It's fun, I enjoy it, so I do it, but it doesn't really give you like a whole lot of extra rusty look. I don't know. Your opinion will be different than mine, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, that looks kind of like the bottom of a beat up car. And I'll add some washes and stuff later, but now we're going to do something else. Yeah, so we're going to say goodbye. See you later. I'm going to kind of take a little break maybe. I don't know. There's other stuff to do around the house. You know how it is. I'll give you one last look at this. I got the body back on, mocked up. Now I've got to get those door, well, let's look at it. Okay, there's how she sits. There's the bottom. Not too bad. You know, rusty and black. Got the tires on the wheels, on the tires, on the rims. Now this gap here, you see that? I think what I'm going to do is, next up, I'll finish the interior. And then I'm going to paint the body. Then I'm going to put the body on. And then I'm going to fill these gaps with Aves epoxy. I'll get all this buttoned up real nice and tight. Maybe get some kind of filler in back there so I don't waste too much putty. And yeah. And then I will, I don't know. I don't know if that should be tight like that. Probably not, eh? That shouldn't be forced over. Anyways, I'm going to figure it out. I will work on the interior next, paint all that awesome resin, and I'll be back with an update when I get some progress done. I'm not going to, as they say, des promesses du putain around here. I won't make any empty promises. That's not quite a literal translation. Okay, catch you later. God bless. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next cartoon. See ya.